Yo, fam, it's me, Sauce Dan Bright, and welcome to episode 9 of the 2025 season of You Call That Targeting. My gosh, got a lot to talk about. I'm here with Mike Rochburns and Earl Idiot Maynard. And we're going to talk a little college football. We're going to talk a little bit of NASCAR. Because, hey, we had a question a few weeks ago that said, why don't you cover NASCAR anymore? So I'm going to talk about it just a little bit because there was something big happened this past weekend. Denny Hamlin wins at Las Vegas. It is win number 60 for Denny Hamlin in his Cup career. That might not sound like a lot of wins. It might sound like a lot of wins. I don't know. But he's 10th all time in NASCAR. I mean, NASCAR's been going on for like 76, 77 years. And he is top 10 to ever do it. There's only some names like Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Sr., Richard Petty. Those are some of the names in front of him, right? I'm telling you, Denny Hamlin's one of the best to ever do it. He's won 6 races this year. He's 44 years old, and he's still whipping tits. So congratulations to Denny Hamlin on win number 60. And staying on the subject of NASCAR, me and the boys are going to Talladega this Sunday. Super excited about that. Man, I just love Talladega. It's like a holiday for me. And we're going to have a good time. I think it's going to be a little rainy that morning, which kind of sucks balls. But I think the weather's going to be, clear by the time the race gets started. And y'all know I'm a meteorologist, and so I've been looking at the models, and I think we're going to be in good shape. But anyways, let's get on to some college football news. James Crap Franklin gets the boot at Penn State. Nothing but a pure garbage coach. I said it last week. He needs to be fired. Some people didn't agree with me. I don't give an absolute crap what you think, because he sucks. And this proved that he sucks pure balls, because he got fired after losing 3 games in a row. Nothing but pure garbage. Drew Aller, their quarterback, suffers season-ending injury, but not like it mattered because they're pure garbage. Billy Napier, Florida's head coach, is pretty much his seat is hot as garbage, and the experts are saying he's probably going to be fired this weekend, regardless of what happens in their game versus Mississippi State. So he's pure garbage, and I'm sure Florida fans are excited about that. And then the last bit of news: Indiana football, they signed their coach to an 8-year extension. Which is great. I'm glad he stayed at Indiana and didn't go and try to go to the bigger schools like Penn State or something and then fail. Like I'm glad he stayed at Indiana, and I hope they have success. So let's get into the recap. Starting with, and we didn't pick this game, but starting with Notre Dame, North Carolina State. Notre Dame wins 36-7. A little slow game for my Irish, but hey, we beat North Carolina State, so hey, a win's a win. We're still probably the number 2 team in the nation. We all picked Ohio State to beat Illinois. That wasn't a struggle. 34-16. Illinois sucks. Oklahoma, Texas. Now this one was a little shocking. Arch Manning actually can play quarterback. Apparently, he hasn't done it all year, but he figured out something against Oklahoma. They beat them 23-6. Oklahoma, yes, they had their quarterback not 100%, but still, I expected their defense to play better than that against crap Arch Manning. Here's a big one. Indiana beats Oregon. I was the only one that had the balls to make that pick, and Mike and Earl was like, we applaud you for making that pick, but we just can't do it. Well, next time, maybe you'll listen to me, because Indiana beats them 30-20. And that's even after throwing a pick 6 late in the game. Indiana still wins by 10. But in our game of the week, Alabama beats Missouri. Earl thought Missouri could do it. Nothing but pure garbage pick from Earl. It was close, 27-24, but honestly, it never, they scored late to make it a game. It never really felt like Missouri could win this game, in my opinion. But in the points, I gained 5 points. I got 39. Earl gained 2 points, like nothing but pure garbage. He's got 29. And then Mike had a pretty good week, 4 points. That's good for him. But he's only got 18 total points because he sucks pure nipples. My gosh. Well, let's give away some awards. Starting with my team of the week, I'm going to give it to Indiana. Man, those Hoosiers. Great game. Congratulations on beating Oregon. I hope Indiana has just a huge year this year. So congratulations. My team of the week. Well, let's get into trash. And we already touched on it. Oklahoma. Losing to your rival in that kind of way. 23-6. Nothing but pure garbage. They're my first trash team. Next trash team, and how I love to see them on this list, Florida State Seminoles suck pure balls. They've lost 3 conference games. They didn't win a conference game last year. They haven't won one this year, and they still suck. So that's good to see. Next trash team, Ole Miss. They won, but they only won 24-21 against Washington State. Nothing but a pure garbage win from the Rebels. They're gonna have to really step it up. Next trash team, Iowa State loses to crap Colorado. 24-17, nothing but a pure trash showing from them. And then we got Nevada, the Wolfpack. They lose to San Diego State 44-10, and Nevada is 1-5 on the year. They're one of the worst teams in the nation. Pure garbage. Speaking of pure garbage, Michigan State loses to UCLA. This is a team that just a few weeks ago were 0-4, and then they turn around, they beat Penn State. And then they whipped the nipples off of Michigan State 38-13. So Michigan State sucks for that. And then, speaking of sucking, my goodness, Boston College, they're 1-5 this year. And they lost to Clemson 41-10. That's just embarrassing because we know how bad Clemson is. Next trash team, Penn State. We touched on them. They lose to Northwestern. Northwestern's a good team. But when you're 20.5-point favorites at home, and you lose, and your coach gets fired for it, you deserve to be on the trash list. So, welcome to the trash list. Again, Penn State, you suck. But now it's time for my absolute trash team of the week. My absolute trash team of the week is, I'm going to give it to UMass. You probably didn't see that. Like, why would I give it to UMass? Well, they lost to Kent State, one of the absolute worst teams in college football the last few years. And not only lost to them, they lost 42-6, got their nipples completely blown back, and UMass currently is sitting at 0-6. Nothing but pure garbage team. That's why they're my absolute trash team of the week. But speaking of trash, we got some questions to answer. Starting with, this question is by Paint Me Naked. It says, for Earl, how many sticks of beef jerky would it take for you to leave Franny? And by that token, if you had to give up jerky forever to stay with her, would you do it?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, the thing is, first of all, I don't eat sticks of beef jerky. I like the more, just standard flat pieces. I don't like, like a beef jerky stick. It's pretty garbage, but there's no amount that would make me, want to leave Franny per se. I mean, if Jack Links came to me and said, "Hey, we'll give you a lifetime sponsor, you get all the free beef jerky you want," man, that jalapeno mango flavor that they got is really good. I would consider it, but I probably wouldn't leave Franny. Because I'll go buy my beef jerky. I don't need people to give me so much beef jerky that it makes me leave my girlfriend. But the other part of the question was, if you had to give up jerky forever, would you stay with her? And that answer is no, I wouldn't. And you might think that that's, rude of me and like, oh, what a trash man Earl is. He would leave his girlfriend for beef jerky. But the thing is, beef jerky is such an important part of my life. Franny knows that. And I get a little ill if I don't have my beef jerky, kind of like I did, when I was drinking alcohol. I've kind of replaced that alcohol with beef jerky. And honestly, I'm just not a fun person to be around if I had to have my jerky. And I wouldn't want to wish that on Franny. I know she could do better than me, being a jerk. And who knows, I might even, cause a domestic dispute and get arrested or something. It could get ugly. So if I couldn't have beef jerky, I just couldn't be. I really couldn't be with anyone. It ain't nothing personal to Franny. It's just very important to me, and it keeps me in a good mood. So hope that answers your question.
My gosh, I mean, you're just terrible. Anyways, this question is from 6'7". Man, I'm so sick of 6'7". It's everywhere, and I don't even get what it means. But anyways, it says, well, Kirby Smart lost a lot of respect this past weekend by many. But let's be real, Auburn did have a tough break. But that's why you play solid all the way through, so you don't lose by tough breaks. Win by playing good so much that bad plays can't trump you. That's how my precious balls play. Hashtag bring back Butch. What an idiot. I mean, first of all, you think Butch Jones is going to save your program? I mean, you got a pretty dang good coach right now, and you want Butch back? That tells me there you know nothing about football. And the thing is, yes, Auburn has some tough breaks, and you can say, well, play better. But honestly, the thing that gets me the most is that I think that should have been a touchdown that they went up 17-0. I think if you go in up 17-0 versus 10-3 like it was at halftime, I think Auburn can win that football game. Even though, yes, Georgia made, good adjustments. They played a lot better in the second half. Auburn didn't move the ball very well, but I think they were a little deflated too. And there was just some garbage calls. I mean, the whole thing with Kirby Smart, saying that he was clapping, and then he stuck with the story even after the game. Nothing but pure garbage. I lost respect for him, and he can suck my pure nipples. Next question is from Meemaw Margaret. It says, what do you know? I think I read that wrong. Hold on. It says, what do you know? UNLV is still undefeated. You suck, pimple puss. My goodness, Meemaw Margaret, you suck. And yes, they are undefeated, but I don't give a crap. Dan Mullen still sucks. And there was a reason he got fired at Florida, because he just lost control of the team, and he's garbage. So I don't need to hear you try to take up for him. He's at UNLV. And I looked, and their schedule, and they squeak by like every game that they played. So it ain't like they're playing just excellent football and that they're going to win a national championship or something. So just calm down. Just calm your tits. Man, I'm sick of you. Anyways, this next question's from Three-Eyed Cat. It says, I heard your grandpa Frank is the top candidate for the Penn State job. Psh, I know that's satire, but my gosh, I mean, just what an idiot. Who would think Grandpa Frank, first of all, he can't even function without his hover round and his oxygen tank. So, I mean, you think he's going to be out there coaching a football team? But my goodness, he'd probably fit right in because he's nothing but pure garbage. And that's what Penn State is. Next question's from Firecracker Nuts. It says, how come I wipe until I draw blood? But then later, as I'm getting into the shower, I grab my handy-dandy magic A-double wipes off the back of my throne, and boom, nothing but brown smearage. Makes as much sense as an electric Q-tip. Firecracker Nuts, I can agree with that. I know for a fact when I take a dookie, I wipe so hard. And I make sure I make sure I'm wiping till there's nothing left. Except for, like you said, if you draw blood. But there's no brown or green or orange or whatever color your crap is. All that's gone. And so I don't get it. I don't get how you can do that, and then like a couple hours later, you go to the bathroom, your butt's a little itchy, and you're like, what is going on? I feel like, a little moist down there. And then you wipe, and then there's dookie smearage. It don't make any sense where it came from. You didn't have a wet fart at any time, or any close calls. You didn't poop anymore, so where does that smearage come from? I'm with you. If you figure it out, let me know, because that's nothing but pure garbage. Next question is from Jared Jimhauser, CEO of Truck Burns. He changed his name. It says, hey guys, incredible show last week, and I know this week will be great as well. Earl, I hope Franny is enjoying her new ride. It was fantastic meeting her, and you, my friend, have a keeper on your hands. I just got out of a meeting with the Cubed Water research team, and I will be joining them on their next adventure. Also, I'm looking forward to our partnership. We will release a limited edition Cubed Water truck burn, and all the money we make will go directly to Captain Flanagan and his crew upon the SS Cube. Also, I gave a personal donation of $50,000 because I believe in what they're doing, and I know when they find that glorious cube, the world will be a better place. My goodness. I mean, I hate to say this because, he's kind of like, they're a huge sponsor to this podcast, but Jared Jimhauser, that's kind of an idiot move. I'm sorry, but 50 grand to an absolute waste of time research team. Captain Flanagan's just taking you to the cleaners with that money. He's probably just spending it on women and booze. My goodness. Nothing but pure garbage. But anyways, let's move on to week 8 picks. Starting with Utah at BYU. My goodness, there's going to be a bunch of white kids in this game. I'm going to go with Utah. I know BYU's undefeated, but these teams never seem like they can put together an undefeated season. So give me Utah on the road to beat BYU's Tits.
I'm going to go with BYU. I like them being at home, and like you said, they're undefeated, and I think they're going to keep it going.
I don't appreciate the all the white kid comments. That was a little racist, and I think you can do better than that. I'll take BYU for the same reasons Mike said. They're undefeated and they're at home.
Well, Earl, listen clear. You don't tell me how to live my life. You don't tell me what to say on this podcast. You got that? My gosh! You better get back in line. Nothing but pure garbage. Let's move on to the next pick. Ole Miss and Georgia. I don't know what to think about this game because Ole Miss just sucked balls this last week. They were on our trash list by just squeaking by a nipple hair against Washington State. And then you got Georgia, who really, in my opinion, probably should have lost to Auburn. But I'm going to go with Georgia. Something about Lane Kiffin just can't win these big games against the big teams. They'll win, 9, 10 games a year. But when it comes to them beating Alabama or Georgia, I don't trust them. So give me the Dogs.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I just can't even picture Ole Miss pulling this one off. Like in my head, I can't even visualize it. So I'm gonna take Georgia.
I think that's some good picks, guys. I'll agree with you. Georgia, maybe that was a little bit of a wake-up call against Auburn, and maybe the coach can figure out what's the difference of a clap and a timeout for this game. But I think even if the refs don't help them, I think they still can beat Ole Miss.
Really important game, this next pick, because it is my precious Notre Dame against USC. USC's having a good year. They're ranked 20th. They're 5-1. We're 4-2, but we're ranked 13th because we lost to 2 really good teams, and so you can suck on that. I don't care. We're still going to win the national championship. So I think everybody knows who I'm picking here. I hate USC. I love Notre Dame. Give me the Irish. I think we win by 14 points.
Well, I always seem to go against your Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Maybe that's why you hate me so much. But I'm going to go with USC. I think they get it done.
Man, Mike, that's just a garbage pick. I mean, no wonder you're in last place in the points. Notre Dame, like Sasha says, they lost to 2 really good teams early on. I think they're really clicking well now, and this is at Notre Dame. Give me the Irish.
Thank you, Earl. I appreciate it. And Mike, you suck pure nipples. But now it's time for you call that targeting game of the week. It is Tennessee at Alabama. My gosh, my voice is about to go out. Tennessee's ranked 11th. They are 5-1. Alabama's ranked number 6. They're 5-1. The Truck Burns AI predictor is giving Tennessee's offense a B and their defense a B minus. They're giving Alabama's offense an A minus and their defense an A. The win probability chance, they're giving Alabama a 73% chance to whip Tits in this game with a score prediction of 31-21. I like it. I think Alabama's playing as good as anybody. If this was at Tennessee, I might would have to think about it a little harder. But I don't think Tennessee stands a chance to win this game. Give me Alabama.
I'm going to completely agree. I mean, if this was at Tennessee, I would even pick Tennessee. I don't know. But, yeah, Alabama's playing really good. I don't see them losing at home. I think it's going to be a great game, but give me Alabama.
Yeah, they're not going to be singing much of Rocky Top. I have a feeling. Honestly, I don't even think that score prediction 31-21 does it justice. I almost think Alabama will win this one. I'm going to go 34-10. I think Alabama. I don't even think they struggle in this game. I think they jump up on them early and beat them down. I don't think Tennessee's really that great. They really haven't been tested all that well. Give me, who? Oh, yeah, Alabama.
All right, there it is. There's all of our picks. We'll recap this all next week, and hopefully we get some good games. And also, me and the boys are going to Talladega Sunday, so we'll have a little discussion about that and talk about how the race went, and if we get into any trouble or anything. So we'll let you know. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next time.